Hello everybody, I'm gonna let you all join. Butter and Jelly might come in and join as well. Once you are on, just tell me once you're here. Let me know that you can hear me okay. This is our little setup for today. I'll bring this back a little bit so you get more of the sexy vibes. We've got this is one of my little chairs in the office, and I actually haven't even sat in here before. And I try and do my Instagram lives from different locations because I just feel like it's a vibe for you guys, you know? So we've got our location today from my office, just kind of in the corner. The view's just there. Butter and Jelly might join. Okay, I'm actually going to record this at the same time, but I don't have a microphone for my laptop because Jelly and Butter decided to eat it, so yeah. Okay, we're gonna jump into talking about energetic blueprints for you guys. I made a few notes so I can make sure that we hit everything today perfectly. This is on a bit of an angle. I feel like I've turned into a fucking Virgo ever since I moved into this house. I'm like, everything's gonna be looking good. It's just because I care so much about my space now. Welcome everybody. I'm so excited to do a little Instagram live. Can you all hear me okay? Just let me know. We're talking about energetic blueprints today. We're talking about your energetic blueprint that you have with money and how it might be affecting your manifestations. Okay, I'm assuming we can all hear me well. Someone please just tell me whether there is an issue, but I'm assuming it's all good to go. Okay, cool. We've got love hearts. We're good. Amazing. Okay, so a blueprint. Okay, great. Hopefully Butter will come in and say hello, make his first appearance on IG Live. Great. Okay, let's jump in everybody. So I'm recording this on my laptop as well. So if the sound is okay, I'll put it on my podcast, but I don't have a microphone because this little one, I see you, come in. Oh my God, he's so fucking cute. He fucking chewed through the leads. Anyway, so when we're talking about blueprints, ladies, there's a blueprint, and gentlemen, there is a blueprint for everything. You have blueprints for marketing plans, you have blueprints for love, you have blueprints for money, you have blueprints for how you manifest, you have blueprints for success. A blueprint is just like an energetic imprint that has been put on you based on your family, your upbringing, and the conditioning that you were receiving when you were growing up. That's all a blueprint is. So we all have different blueprints depending on where we grew up, how we grew up, whether our parents had a lot of money, whether they believed, when they had a very abundant mindset, whether they had a lot of scarcity, whether there was a ceiling that was kind of put on you, whether your parents felt like there was a ceiling put on them and it was capped for them. All of these things then influence us, right? Doggies, Jelly, come here. Jelly. Oh, I can just see them through the crack. Jelly, baby, come in. Oh, hi. The doggies are gonna make an appearance. So your blueprint will be different. Your blueprint can even be a little bit different. Doggy one, everyone say hello to Jelly. Oh, and Butter's just like, where's my turn? Hi everyone. Okay, that's doggy one, and then we'll keep going. And this is doggy two. Hold on. This is doggy two. Everyone say hello to Butter. Hello everybody. Okay, so when we're talking about blueprints, ladies, your blueprint will generally be similar to your siblings, but they can actually be different depending on your own internal kind of dialogue as well. That can definitely impact your blueprints. Is that what you're wearing to dinner? I need to change out of leggings now. Christina, I'm actually thinking of changing this, but it's kind of comfy, so I might stay in it. Wherever you want, babe. Okay, so let's talk about money today. I want to talk about our money blueprint. So all I want you guys to do is today you can just receive all of the information. Try and receive everything that I'm going to say today. Let it land in your body rather than writing everything down, and then you can go back and make notes if you want to. But just sit here, be in your feminine, and receive everything that I'm going to say instead of you being in your head with everything, okay? Also, Christina, I haven't shaved my legs, so I feel like that offsets the nice dress. My legs are fucking hairy. Okay, so I want you to firstly think about ceilings. So your energetic blueprint when it comes to money has a limit to it. It's like it'll have all these blueprints, all these imprints in you of like whether you can achieve this, whether this amount of money feels safe, whether money does feel safe, whether you're in abundance, whether you're in scarcity. And you'll often have a ceiling, like a cap, where you feel like I can't make more than this, or it's just like you can't see how you can make more of it, or you always have the same amount in your savings. That's like a ceiling where you feel like you have a limit that has been put on you, and that limit is in your blueprint. Okay, so in order for you to break your ceiling, you have to shift your energy. So let's backtrack for a little bit. When we're talking about how our blueprint is made, things that you can think about is how much money your parents made. Whether your parents had a lot of money or also struggled, because your grandparents' blueprint also affects you, right? Who were the kind of families that you grew up with? Where did you grow up? Did you grow up in like a wealthy city like New York? Or did you grow up in a city that didn't have as much money? Did you grow up with a very open mindset? Did you grow up with a mindset where you felt like the world was your oyster? Or did you grow up with a mindset of like you are limited and you can only achieve X? Because all of these things imprint on you, and you can translate this to like any other area of your life. You can translate it to also love, because you got a blueprint for love, whether you feel like you're deserving of love, whether you feel like there's a limit to how much love you can receive, all the kind of men or women that you can attract in, all that kind of stuff, right? So the financial blueprint that you have, it just combines of your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your actions in the arena of money. So how you think, how you feel, how you act on money will affect your money blueprint, right? So what you want to be making sure that you're doing, if you want to change your money blueprint, is obviously slightly shifting and altering your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions around money and how you think about money. And I've got plenty of podcasts for you guys to be doing that on and all that kind of stuff, right? Because you want to start shifting that information that's been coded in your body that's created the blueprint. And in order for you to start shifting, you need to start changing things and learning. So you need to also, in order to shift your money blueprint, you also really need to shift your environments. Is a really big one, because your environment heavily affects your body and how your body is feeling. And money and manifestations are an embodied experience. They're not in your head. So your body has to also shift. And then you want to make sure that you are learning. So a lot of people, when they're trying to heal their relationship with their own feminine energy, when they're trying to heal their relationship with men, when they're trying to heal their relationship with money or love or whatever it is, a really great thing people forget to do is like education. The reason why they have a fucked up relationship with whatever, or they've got this fucked up mindset about money or love or boys or whatever, or men or whatever it is, or women, is or success, but it doesn't matter what it is because that is how they have learnt to think about that thing. So if you want to change how you think about something, you need to learn something different. You can't just think that a light bulb's gonna switch, like a switch is gonna flick and then it's just gonna be like, oh, now I think of everything like this. You need to learn. So if you're not actively trying to change, oh baby, come up here. If you're not actively trying to put yourself in different environments and invest in teachers, books, learning material that will allow you to actually shift your education around a certain topic, around money for the sake of this, then I don't understand how you're thinking that anything will change, right? Because you're learning about your information that's coded in your body is from the way in which you've learnt about money. So in order for you to change the way that you feel about money, and therefore the way that you embody money, and therefore the way that you attract money in and receive money and manifest money, you need to change the way that you think about money, and that is education, right? It's not just doing nothing. And then I also want to say on the education piece, especially when you want to change something rapidly, and I did a podcast ages ago when I was living in London, you guys fucking loved it, is stop expecting massive results from free things. And the reason why I say this, and like trigger warning, right? Probably should have said that earlier. The reason why I say this is because if you want to have like these massive things come into your life, if you want radical shifts, whether it is money, whether it is finding the dream man, whether it is finding the dream house, like if you're not willing to invest and pay to get help in receiving this, you don't actually want it that badly. Like, think about that. Let's swap it to love for a second, because everyone wants that apparently more than money, but they actually want money just as much. But love feels more than like money, right? Like, oh, I can do that myself. If you are really wanting to manifest in your dream partner, but you are not willing to spend a dime on that shit, you don't really want it that badly. But then you've got people that will do, that will pay thousands for, what's it called? They match you. You know those like services and they match people? I can't remember what they're called. Matchmakers. People will pay like $5,000 for matchmakers because that is how much they are valuing a life partner, valuing themselves, and that's how badly they want it. So guess what? They're gonna find a fucking amazing life partner because they have put out that money of this is how much. It is about energy, and it's about the energy exchange, and it is about putting that energy out into the universe of like, I want this, I trust myself, and it's gonna come back tenfold and blah, blah, blah. It is that, and just logically, I wanna just talk logical side, because we always talk the woo-woo side, but I wanna talk logical side for a second. It's also the logical side of, do you actually want that badly? Because if you don't actually want the results, then you won't put the effort in. So if you keep telling yourself, I can do it free, I can do it free, like, but I really want it, I do really want it. I'm like, no, you don't really want it. Like, you actually don't, and that can be like really like hard to receive. It's like, but I do. It's like, no babe, like I've tricked myself to believe that before. You don't really want it that badly, because if you did really want that badly, you would actually pay a lot of money for it because you would value it. Just think about it like this. I would pay anything for when I fucking like thought I broke Butter's paw, because I value his health so much. And it's so easy for us to value other people, but we don't value ourselves very much. Right? So you gotta think about it. If I find it so easy to pay for everybody else, like, whoa, I'm actually not valuing myself very much. I'm not valuing my health. I'm not valuing my happiness very much. Because people then think, oh, but it's just money. Like, I don't really need it that badly. Like, I don't really need it. Like, I don't really need to learn to manifest that badly. And it's like, you're not understanding the core of it. The core of it is happiness. Like, when you understand how to manifest really fucking well and bring money in, and you understand money really well and whatever it is, and you can change this to whatever you want, what that actually does is it helps you to not feel like you're trying to control everything. It helps you to feel like you have a bit of control in it. It helps you to feel like things are happening. It actually helps you. It actually brings you happiness. It's not about the manifesting. It's about the freedom that you feel in your body, which helps the blueprint. The freedom that you feel in your body when you're like, oh, I actually have a sense of control in my life. That's what it is. And when you pull that piece in, and when you feel that piece in your body, because remember, it's about an embodied experience, when you feel that piece in your body, then you actually feel like you can break the ceiling. But a lot of people, they're so heady, and they're like, yeah, I can break the ceiling, I can break the ceiling. I'm like, but you don't feel in your body like you really can break the ceiling, okay? Okay. Yeah, matchmaking agency. We're all loving Butter. I know, he's ridiculous. Okay, the next thing. So, 3 things. 3 things that are gonna change your blueprint, your coding, whatever you wanna call it. It takes embodiment, it takes intention, and it takes real fucking action to change it. So let's just all do a little thing. Let's just all close down our eyes. Place your hand on your heart. Juicy question came through. And I want you to ask your heart, ask yourself, like, be fucking honest with yourself and let me know the answer if you feel comfortable. Ask yourself, I've lost it, hold on, let me get it back. What is the step that I am avoiding doing because it feels uncomfortable? What is the step that I'm avoiding taking, I should say, because it feels uncomfortable? Okay, get the answer, sink into it, write it down, share it in the chat box, whatever it is. There are 4 key things that you must be doing in order to change your financial blueprint. So you've got the embodiment to change your coding and everything. Embodiment, intention, real fucking action. That's what it takes. The 4 key elements of change are awareness, understanding, observing, and then reconditioning. So awareness is you being aware of, okay, this is my money blueprint, right? This is my ceiling. Understanding is you understanding money, you understanding your blueprint, you understanding your blocks, you understanding up leveling, you understanding energy, you understanding frequency, you understanding all that kind of stuff. Observing is you having the ability to observe where you like fuck yourself, right? And then the reconditioning is all the relearning, the reconditioning, the reprogramming of your subconscious brain and the reconditioning of your body to then get to that next level. In the new module of MMM level 2, we're gonna do an embodiment practice. So we all need to get some like dance clothes on. We're gonna do an embodiment practice, just some clothes you can move in. Like if you're at work, that's fine, but like don't rock up in like a fucking ball gown, or I don't really care, but you just need to be able to move in it a little bit. Because the embodiment piece is so important and it is so forgotten when it comes to manifesting. Like it really is very forgotten. Everybody thinks it's about journaling, it's about meditating, it's about Pinterest. Like those things, yes, all of them are important, and I say all of them in my programs, and it's actually the embodiment piece that's where the magic lies. And I'm gonna do that FAQ podcast when I have my fucking lead back, but shoot it. So when I get my podcast lead in the mail tonight, I might jump on and do that one as an IGTV. I actually would love to do that, and then I can put it on my YouTube as well. Maybe I'll just do a little recording. Or I didn't even think about recording in this spot. I'm like, I gotta record out in my living room, but it's a fucking mess sometimes. And I'm like, saves. Because I'm trying to record it on YouTube at the same time. Because, repurposing content, blah, blah, blah. Do 5 things at once because it's better. Anyway, I will try and answer the FAQs in a video, but one of the FAQs that people always ask is like, I feel like I'm doing all the journaling and it's not working, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's because there is something in your body that's making you not able to embody the manifestation. And that's where we're talking about the blueprints and the coding. It is so much more than just journaling, especially when we're talking about that really high level kind of manifesting stuff, guys. It will be saved. What if nothing comes up? Sit on it for longer. It was pretty good that I gave it to you. Sit on it for longer, because there is always something. Like there's things that come up for me if I was to ask about things. It's your ego that doesn't want to admit it, but if you can admit it to yourself and then observe that and everything, then you need to act on it. I'm avoiding leaving my partner and moving to Queensland to be with my family, and I wanted so much, but I just can't do it. I don't know why. You know why deep down, but you also probably don't want to admit the why, right? The why is probably going to be, like when it comes to anything about change, moving, up leveling, X, Y, and Z, the fear is just that your body feels like something bad is going to happen if you step outside your comfort zone, or that you're going to lose something, or there's going to be some kind of downfall, or like what if it doesn't work? It's all of these fears that come in. And when you have like not done the work on creating full fucking body safety, it becomes really hard to constantly up level 100%. So if you know that you have a lot of trauma, you know you need to do Queen Alchemy. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about with blueprints is a lot of people, I think the statistic is like 70% of breakups happen because of money, or like marriages that end happen because of money. And people think it's because of money. It's not actually because of money. It's because of a mismatch of blueprints. It's because one person values money like this, another person values money like this. You're very welcome, Brooke. Another person values money like this. And it's so important that when you're in the beginning of dating someone, guys, I cannot stress to you enough, talk about money. Are you on the same wavelength? And it doesn't mean that you have to both make the same amount of money. It means that if I was like, babe, can we like go skiing here and I'm gonna pay for this accommodation and it's like $50,000, he is gonna be like, okay, like what else? And it's not gonna be like ever an issue, and then like he'll pay for the other things or whatever it is. Or you're going out for dinner and you want to go to a really fancy restaurant. He's like, I'll take you to a really fancy restaurant, even though he doesn't want to go to a really fancy restaurant. He knows that you value that a lot, for example. You don't need to be making the same amount of money. That's not what blueprints are. Okay, your blueprint can be like, heaven is the limit, and you make $50,000 a year, or your blueprint can be scarcity, and this is very basic blueprint, it's much more specific than that. Your blueprint can be scarcity and you make $1 million a year. So it's not actually, blueprints are not about the actual amount of money that you make, it's about the energy that you have around money, it's about your story around money, it's about your embodiment, your feelings, your safety around money. So when it comes to blueprints, you want to make sure that you are with someone, that you're in a relationship with someone where your blueprints actually match, or there's understanding of each other's blueprints and respect for it. So again, you could be with someone that makes half of what you make, but they also love to enjoy life and have a very abundant mindset, so they have no problem splurging, but they make half of what you make, or vice versa. Blueprints and understanding that energy around money is very, very important, okay? And it's also just good for yourself and your own relationship with yourself, okay? And the last thing that I want to mention is that when it comes to money beliefs, when it comes to your blueprints, nothing is right, nothing is wrong. It's just about how you feel about things. Like, you add your own energy to things. So if you think that making $1 million feels gross, that's your feeling around it. Like, nothing is actually right or wrong. It's the energy that you add to things that then becomes your money story. Okay, there are no like rock solid, like, you don't have to believe that $1 million is a lot of money or $1 million isn't a lot of money. It's your perception of things. But what's really important and what gives you that freedom around, you know, money and living your life and having enjoyable experiences and not feeling that energy of like scarcity around money and just having money be an issue and a stress, because a lot of people have money stress in their life. Like, a fucking lot of people get stressed out paying bills. They hate opening their bank account. They hate paying for things. They want to go on holidays, but they hate paying those big bills, blah, blah, blah. I guarantee you that's like a lot of stress in most people's lives, and that really takes away from the freedom that we get to experience. Or I don't know about freedom right now, but you know what I mean? That takes away from the freedom that we could be experiencing. So a lot of people don't value doing work around money because they don't see it as important. But I want you to think about, take a moment like after this IGTV today and this podcast today to actually think about how much your beliefs around money and your shit around money is actually affecting you and is draining you in not a good way. And do you value you having that weight lifted off your shoulders? Because that's really what it is about. Like, do you value not having to worry about it's not about not having to worry about money, it's about not having to feel scarcity and fear around money because you understand money, you know how to call in more money. Like I said at the beginning, you feel like you have a little bit more control around money and your manifestations and what you call in, rather than you feeling like you've been fucked from birth with the money story that you were given. Because you haven't been fucked. The only reason why you're still in this situation, this is a chicken egg, the only reason why you're still in this situation is because of you. You're choosing to stay in this situation. So you can choose to stay in your current situation, or you can choose to change it. I can't do that for you, but you can do that for yourself. Most people are too scared of doing something different because they have to step out of their comfort zone, and the unknown is scary for them, and they can't pull their fucking socks up and do it anyway. And this is in every area of their life. So they stay where they are. But I want you to remember, guys, the more things that you do that are scary, the more you will do in your life. So if you make an investment that feels scary, I guarantee you're not going to be scared to go on that fucking date. I guarantee you that you won't be scared to go up to the guy in the bar. The more that you do things that scare you, the less jumping out of your comfort zone scares you. Like, if you told me 3 years ago that I would just walk up to dudes in bars and be like, "Hi, I'm Monica," and just stand there until they like reply to me, which like, no, it's just, I don't mean like stand there for a year, like for 30 minutes. They just, obviously I'm like, "Hi, I'm Monica," and I take them back for a second. They're like, "Oh, hi, I'm so-and-so." If you told me that like 3-4 years ago, I'd be like, "Oh my God, I would never do that. It was so gross. Like, what the fuck? I could not do that. And now I don't even, like, my brain doesn't question it. I just like do it. If there's a cute guy at the bar that I want to talk to, I'll just like go up and talk to him. Like, what else? If it's something I want, I just go and get it. Like, I don't think about it anymore because I've done the work to create that freedom. But that meant I had to do scary things, and I continue to do scary things to get me out of my comfort zone. Okay, can you have a blueprint of having the money, but then have things come up that have blocked you and made you scared of spending? Oh, yeah. Your blueprint, people think that the only money issue is scarcity. Sorry, no. You can have overspending issues. You can have the fact that whenever money comes in, you then get a fucking check. That means you can't spend it. All the money comes in and then you have a block about spending it on yourself. You can have money issues around you'll spend money on everybody else, but you won't spend money on yourself. You can have money issues of I'll spend money on clothing, but I won't spend money on myself and by investing in myself. You can have money issues around you having an addiction to like shopping. You can have money issues on a million different things. There's no one money issue by any means. Obviously, the most common is like scarcity around money, but I would say that like there's also like a solid 30% of the population that actually have like an overspending issue with money as well, especially when it comes to material things and just like things they don't think about. So you can buy material things. I buy material things all the time, right? But there's consciously buying and unconsciously buying, and a money issue is like unconsciously buying things all the time, basically. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go, ladies and gentlemen. Have a lovely day wherever you are. I hope this was juicy and helpful for you. Do not forget that MM Level 2 is closing next Tuesday. If you have any questions, please just send them to me. The modules are written at the bottom of the website page, so you can read them all if you want to read them all and know what we cover. The New York module obviously has an upgrade of everything that I have been embodying and learning and that I want to share with you guys that isn't already in the program, that I have like encompassed from whatever the last module was, which was Zermatt. So I've encompassed this over the last 9 months. So all the manifestation that I have achieved and how I've done them over the last 9 months will be in the next 1 hour module. Yeah, any questions, just let me know. I'm an open book, you guys know that. And I'm excited to welcome all of you that are joining. Honestly, it is such a juicy, up-leveled program, and what I find a lot of people relate to is they appreciate that I bring the logic into it and not just the woo-woo, because there's a lot of manifestation teachers out there, and like that's fine for them to do it this way, like whatever like works for you. But I personally I love all the woo-woo, but sometimes you also need logic in there for when like you're spiraling, where woo-woo is like fuck, when you just be like fuck the woo-woo for a second. And like I'm very good at bringing in that logic as well as the woo, so you have both of them to be leaning on when you need to. Okay, have a lovely rest of your days, and I will see you on the gram. Oh, and also, if you haven't already joined the behind the scenes bubble, you definitely should, because I post like lots of behind the scenes stuff, chicken nuggets, and just like more of my life and what I'm doing there. Today I posted like a behind the scenes thing of like how I plan out the how I'm doing the Tulum itinerary for when we do the immersion. So I gave you guys a little behind the scenes of that today. So if you haven't already joined that, I would highly recommend joining that, because it is a vibe back there, and I love being able to give you guys a little bit extra, actually a lot extra than what I do on Instagram. And it's easier because I can like post long fucking videos and I don't have to worry about fucking the algorithm. So anyway, okay, have a lovely rest of your week, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.